Hi everybody. I hope you are doing super well today, and in today's video, you are going to learn a specificity about French language that is so important, because it will allow you to understand that oral and written are not the same in terms of pronunciation. So what about learning the difference and similarities between oral and written? The first thing I'm going to speak in this video is the differences in pronunciation. We will see later on the similarities. Sometimes, the same letter can have different pronunciation. It's the case of the three following consonants: the S, the C and the X letters. Let me show you first the differences in pronunciation for the letter S. There are two different sounds possible for the letter S. The first one, and the most logical one, is S having an S sound. I give you three examples of words having the S sound with S letter.
Danse, brosse, science.
The other possibility is that the S letter has a Z sound. This happens when a single S is between two vowels. You can hear it with those two examples.
Cousin, poison.
Now, let's move on to the letter C to discover the different possible pronunciation for this letter. For this letter, there are two different sounds that we will see right now. The first is the C letter having a K sound in front of three vowels, the A, the O, and the U, but also in front of consonant, except H letter. You can hear the K sound in those four words.
Cadeau, coquille, cumin, accueil.
The second possible pronunciation is C having S sound in front of three other vowels, the E, the I, and the Y.
Citron, cygne, sel.
Another letter where there are different possible pronunciation is the letter X. There are 5 different pronunciation depending on the cases. Here is the first pronunciation of the X letter. There are different reasons why we pronounce it that way. When the X letter is inside the word, when X is followed by a consonant, or when the word ends by the 5 terminations showed. So, examples of those situations are
Texte, extrême, lynx.
Again, another strange pronunciation. This time, there are 2 different situations where we pronounce it that way. First, when X is followed by a vowel, and secondly when it's followed by an H. You can hear it in the 2 following examples.
Exagère, exhaler.
X can be pronounced S for the numbers 6, 10, 60, and also the word coccyx. You can hear it in this example.
6, 10, 18, 60, 70.
The following possibility is X having a Z sound. This happens for the numbers that derivate from 2, 6 and 10, like in
Deuxième, sixième, dixième.
Last case is when the X is muted. This happens when it's placed at the end of the word, except the word ending that we have seen in the first case. An example of muted X are
Paresseux, mieux, paix.
I didn't write it, but in the other situations, the X letter has his normal pronunciation. Now, we are going to see the opposite than previously, which is the similarities in pronunciation. You are going to learn 3 different cases, where there are different letters, but with the same pronunciation. We will start with the F sound, and after the O sound, and finally the S sound. So as I said, what about learning the similarities in pronunciation with the F sound? It sounds logical that F has an F sound, but as we have seen previously other letters that have different pronunciation depending on the situations, it's important to mention that F has an F sound. The example I propose you is
fleur,
this one has also the same pronunciation. It has a F sound like in the word
phrase,
Now, you are going to understand the similarities concerning the O sound. The letter O has an O sound like in the word
olivier,
Another situation where we have his O sound is with
autonome,
The last one that might also be strange is that the following group of letter has an O sound, like with the word water in French.
eau,
The S sound is the last one we are going to see in this video. It's an important one, because as you can see the list of cases where we can have an S sound is long. S with an S sound seems obvious, but as we have seen previously, it also can have an Z sound, so be careful about it. Anyway, the example I propose you is
situation,
double S has a S sound like in.
rasseur,
An S followed by a C also has the S sound. Let's see this with the word.
si,
We have also seen previously that X can have a S sound. That's what you can hear with the word six.
six,
The C letter has different pronunciation, and one of those is like an S letter. Do you hear it in the word?
cils,
In the dedicated video about accents and cedilla, we have seen that cedilla is pronounced like the S letter, but just to remind you it, we can see it once again with the word.
tronçonneuse,
And finally, the last one, the T letter that can have the S pronunciation. Most of the time, it's when the T letter is followed by an I. There are exceptions, but the video would be too long if I detail everything. Anyway, you can hear the S sound with the T letter in the word.
attention,
Alright, we have seen a lot of things today. For that reason, you can take benefits of the following exercise to figure out if you have memorized what I told you. The exercise that I propose you is that you listen a word, and you tell me if the sound of the letter or letters in blue is more likely to be the option on the left, or the option on the right.
une brosse,
We have seen that the double S has an S sound.
un berceau,
It has an O sound.
un phénomène,
As we have seen in similarities part of this video, it has an F sound.
exagère,
We have seen that the X letter has a lot of different pronunciation possible, but this time, the first option is the correct, because X is followed by a vowel.
extra,
As the X letter is followed by a consonant, and the consonant is not an H, then the second option is the correct one.
caricature,
It's pronounced like the K letter, because it's followed by the O letter.
ciment,
This word has the S sound, because it's followed by the I letter. Alright. So, it's the end of this video, I hope you enjoyed it. And if it's the case, you can press the like button, subscribe to receive notifications when I post new videos, and also share this video with people interested in learning French. Thank you for watching. See you soon.